Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are currently working on getting this war finished up. Now, I've already gone through off camera and mothballed all of our forts that are no longer going to be necessary, and I've also turned down our maintenance on our navy, so we're making a little bit more money now. Apparently 111.18, but if we go in here, it's 89.2. I'm not sure which is accurate. It doesn't really matter, but I would like to continue to build manufactories, continuing to develop our economy. That snowball is incredibly important to get rolling. But we can come up here and finish up these sieges. I think 3 armies up here is more than enough. Let's bring this one back and start coming down this direction to deal with some of these rebels. Now, I also thought a bit about what we might want to take from this war. And what I've decided on is something similar to this. Obviously, we can't take a lot. And I thought about separate piecing Tunis and taking some territory like up here, but then I realized that's just going to be provocative for the Ottomans. That's going to be more likely that they declare war on us if we take this territory, which we're currently not ready to do. And as you'll see, I'm still improving relations with the Ottomans. Our truce with them is actually up next month. So that's a concern. Luckily, they're currently at war, and they also currently have a low-ish number of troops for the Ottomans and no manpower. So I think it's a little bit unlikely that they end up attacking us right now, but we're taking some steps to prevent that. So that's fine, but what this ends up doing is it creates 2 theaters over here again, rather than this being like one joint theater like it was before this war. It creates 2 separate theaters with us fully encompassing Simeon and Kappa, and we can take those at our leisure. Then it creates choke points here that we can actually build a fort in. And it also connects us up over to Mali while also allowing us to attack Fulo. So I think ultimately this is the best that we're going to get. It's going to be a lot of aggressive expansion, but it's just Simeon, Kaffa, Morocco, and Tunis that's angry. And we don't care about those guys. So let's go ahead and continue these sieges. Now our truce with the Ottomans is over. So things could get a little awkward for sure. We're going to core Gazira when we can, but we may as well get this manufactory building. There we go. What are we actually making? 102.43? Not bad. Not bad at all there. So they're grouping up over here-ish. I'm going to move this force. Am I? This is a wasteland here. They can't group these up. So I think we're okay. Military access, huh? And Malian noble rebels. No shocker there, to be honest. That's completely fine. We gained a core on Sa. I'm not sure where Sa is. Oh, okay. Sure. That seems reasonably fine. Can we get ourselves an agenda here? We can, and I think we should. What do we go for here? Ogaden, having a manufactory. So that's out over here. We can get this done in a couple of months. Alternatively, Fulo making friends with them. Or a fleet equal or larger than France. We do need to build up our fleet, but the economy is actually more important. So we're going to take that manufactory. Cool. That'll be fine. Once we have our economy sorted out, then we can make the fleet very easily, right? Okay, so we're going to maintain our relations with the Ottomans. Oof. They're going to attack us at some point. I think that's very clear. Mapemba gains rebellious people, but 665, that's really good. We'll do it. And what cult do we want her to follow? Discipline. Cool. We're definitely going to want to switch our cult over to discipline when we can. We're on institution spread right now, which is completely useless. That said, we're 2 years away from the next institution spawning, which is going to be enlightenment. We would need Mapemba to have a university. We should do this. How long will it take to build a university here? 9 months? Done. So we'll get that going. And we'll be arriving over here shortly. Looks good. Mali in particular is, yeah. And there's peasants up over here that we're going to need to deal with as well. Okay. A bit obnoxious, to be sure. These sieges will end eventually. And yeah, they're going to occupy out here. We're going to send a force down here, and then we're going to come... Cool. So 74% war score right now. Eventually, these forts will fall. Eventually. We should definitely make sure that we have a leader out over here. Not the best leader I've ever seen, but it'll do. These guys are going to go in here while we're capping here. Cool. We'll get that eliminated, and we actually got that back immediately, so that looks good. We're just going to come back up here. We lost our trade dispute. Ethiopian separatists in Gondar. We're not too concerned about that right now, and that's directly in between our forts there, so it doesn't actually have any bearing on us. We're going to come up over here, checking in on these sieges. We finally won in Kabylia. Okay, so that's not the one that we needed. This province is now cored. So we can make a state, and so we shall. We can also make these into full cores, and we can get that one coring. Perfect. We're at 99% right now. Hang on. We can actually grab... We can't grab this one. We could do something like this, and it would be awkward. And then we could grab, like, this guy. We could even take, like that. And they would accept this. We do need to end this war. Simeon, Kaffa, Morocco, Tunis. Seems fine. Okay, so that's ours. We're going to move these guys back to Bago. We can definitely mothball the fort in Kong. Do we want to get rid of the fort in Kong? Not right now. I would like to actually get a fort up here. That would be a good spot for a fort. Okay, and then a fort here would be amazing, and a fort here would be amazing. So we're going to pull these forces back, of course. And these guys are just going to head down over here. There we go. No problem there. Beautiful. So we have a lot of coring to do, right? No doubt about that. We're going to sort by overextension. And we're going to get these worked on. But we definitely need to core. So we're going to have to chill for a bit here. Which is completely fine. We're fully expecting that we're going to have some issues. So 8% overextension from these. Those are relatively cheap. Malian noble rebels in Do. We can now get up here and handle that. So that's looking good. No problem there whatsoever. We want to get a couple of additional forts built. I now believe that these two forts are unnecessary. So we're going to get rid of them and not pay maintenance for them anymore. And what about over here? Well, this fort is still very necessary. I feel like this one isn't. But we'll wait until we've taken over Kaffa and Simeon for that, I think. Which that will take a little while. Okay, so we're just going to park these guys in Mali for the moment. These guys can spread out a bit over here. What is the actual supply limit here? 36? That's not bad. Not bad at all. So we can park them like that. Looks good. We're going to continue to core here. Let's go ahead and grab... Yeah, these are going to be so much more efficient to grab. So we'll go ahead and sort by cost here. Beautiful. So we're going to get those cores. Russia just rivaled us. So who hates the Ottomans? Spain and Russia. And they've rivaled both of them have rivaled us as well. France has rivaled us. Great Britain is our ally, but they are not very strong. Actually, they're stronger than they used to be, but they did not help us last time the Ottomans declared war on us. So what do we think the odds are that the Ottomans declare war on us? Reasonably high. They're still working on getting their manpower back up. So for the moment, I feel like that's somewhat fine. We're definitely going to need to continue to work on coring and getting our overextension down. That's for sure. Cool. So for the moment, we do have these Rwandan and Oyo separatists. So that's going to be... we're going to head down over that way. We're going to have to deal with those. And we can get this coring. There we go. Cool. So 27 for all of these cores. That looks reasonably fine. Now, how close are we to Miltech 24? I chose not to go for an idea group here because we're only 1 year ahead of time right now. Enlightenment is going to become a problem here, of course. I'm assuming our university here is done, and we're now, in theory, eligible for Enlightenment to spawn. Yes, we're eligible for Enlightenment to spawn in our territory, so we'll see if it does. We can build improvements, and we definitely want to. So we're going to continue to build manufactories. Oh, we wanted to build this in Ogaden. So I'm going to refund that, and we're going to build this over here. So a trade station in Ogaden. It's going to be less efficient, but the base tax there will be nice. There's a couple of cores finishing, and we can get another core going. This core will be done very soon as well. So our overextension is beginning to drop, which is good. That's exactly what we wanted. We can make a state up over here. We will certainly do so. So these are not full cores, right? We don't want to make those for the moment. We certainly want to come down here. Now we're arriving down in Rwanda. Base tax and bondament. I like it. Speaking of which, our colonists are actually still at reason. Okay. So we're going to come down over here. What do we got here? 14. So in Bashubi. Cool. We can grab our next Miltech. That gives us 2 combat width. There we go. And, of course, we haven't embraced Enlightenment, and we're 16 years ahead of time. So now our military power is going to go into ideas for a little while. So that'll be good. Ottomans are planning to attack Mara. So Mara's here. Funge separatists have risen up in Soba. We'll deal with those in a moment. We need to get into Rwanda here. I did expect the Rwandans to pop first, but we'll just go ahead and provoke these. 22 regiments should be absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever. We'll get that provoked. We win that, and we're going to head up over to here. Beautiful. So from here, we are, of course, going to continue to work on coring. We need a fair amount more. The Enlightenment. Okay. In Pavia. Well, that's sad. It did not spawn in our territory, but because we have a university here, it is going to start growing here. So yeah, it spawned up here in Italy. It's sad, but we were eligible. We just didn't get selected. That happens. So the Battle of Doe, of course, is a thing, and we will continue to convert, or not convert, we'll continue to do this. Speaking of conversion, okay. We're working on it. These are pretty slow, though. Noted. Wadian separatists over here are unsurprising. I want to move this army into here. Cool. And next up, we're going to get this corps going. Dongolan separatists up over this way. That's fairly expected. Okay, we got a base tax. I like it. We do need, of course, to build more manufactories, and we will do so. We'll build one here, and then one in Bagamoyo as well. Beautiful. So we're going to want Enlightenment, but for the moment, that's not a big focus. What is a big focus is getting all of this cored, and then once that's all cored, and we're actually getting pretty close to that. Once this is all cored, then we're going to look into switching our priority into diplomatic power. Reason being, we're pretty far behind in dip tech. So we're definitely going to want to work on that. We're going to need to annex Shua eventually. Oh, these guys down here popped too. That's obnoxious. I'm going to send this army over to here. I'm not expecting to need them up here anytime soon. We're not surprised at these separatists, to be clear. This is very unsurprising. So we're going to go ahead and get this core going and then this core going. Ooh, 684 ducats. I like it. That goes into making more ducats. Malian noble rebels and Kingdom Bornuan separatists. Those are easy enough to deal with. No problem whatsoever there. Okay, let's go hit these guys. There we go. Malian noble rebels, Oyo separatists. Those are going to be simple-ish to deal with. We'll have to wait till these guys get freed up, though. And we'll go ahead and core here. 48 and 115 is what we need now. So that's looking good. Okay, let's take these guys down to here. Beautiful. Diplomatic power. Yes, please. We're going to head up here and eliminate these separatists. These guys are just kind of chilling here, which we don't have access to deal with them. Okay. Cool. Malian particularists are unsurprising. So we're just going to head in over here. Now, we definitely do want to get those forts queued up, right? We want a fort here, which is currently underway, but it's not building at the moment. We want a fort here, not because of Simeon, but just to control passage between these two areas, is the idea. We need to let that core, though, before we can build it. So for the moment, we definitely want to continue putting our money into manufactories. Cool. We'll take back Kasir Ibrahim. More Malian particularists out over here. Unsurprising. And these guys, for the moment, are going to go back over here. How are we doing down here? We're almost there, but they're going into Buyagoma. So we'll go down there as well. Cool. Our ally here is taking back some of this territory for us. I like it. And we can head back to Mali now. We can attack over here and continue to build manufactories. Those continue to be very valuable. Cool. Ooh, these guys are walking into us. I like it. They didn't have to do that, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and get this core going. This one is 0% overextension. So we don't actually care about getting this one prioritized. So I wanted to get this one first. That's 8% and much, much more, of course. And we're going to head down over this direction. Cool. These guys are going to head up to Karagwe. So this is getting under control. Our overall provincial unrest is relatively high. And that's not shocking. So we're making 12 per month right now. Next month... Oh, we already win that. Next month, we're going to be able to get this coring. So that's great. There we go. And now some of these cores are finishing. We're going to head down over towards Kaffa here. And we're going to head into Nakor. Beautiful. I want to check in on how we're doing on our land force limit. Because we need to expand our armies, right? That's definitely something that we need. And our current combat width is 38. So we're going to expand these by a decent chunk. This is going to go to 18, 2, and 20? No, 38 divided by 2 is 15 plus 4, 19? 19. Okay, so let me double check that. 38 divided by 2, yes, 19. Okay, fantastic. So in that case, we know we need 2 cavalry. And then this needs to go down to 17. And then this goes to 19, like this. So this would be the standard army. And that should be a size of 38, and indeed it is. That is exactly what we want. So we're going to begin to conform some of these to templates. This province is not one of our cores. Yes, I'm aware of that, but it's connected to cores. I would have expected that that be available. Okay. So obviously we still need to make some of these cores, right? There's these guys right down here that we'll just go deal with, like that. This cannot be conformed just yet. We're going to make our way up over here. Get that dealt with. Cool. Lending libraries and book clubs. Good job, Venice. So we're still doing okay on our colonists here. Cool. I want to build additional manufactories. We can, in fact, get... Looks great. Hong Separatists out over here. Unsurprising. We're going to head on down. These cores will finish up, and this will get better. But we're not quite there yet. France sowed distrust. Hilarious. Siege of Kong is over. Yes, but we did gain a core. Looks good. So we need 17 admin power here. Any moment now. There we go. So we win down here. We'll have to siege that back. These guys... Okay, the Siege of Kong is already over. We're going to head up over this direction. These guys can be conformed. This fort, for the moment, can be mothballed. Beautiful. These guys are going to move up towards Kaffa. We're preparing to attack Seemia. Mandara is now cored. We can make this into a state. Consider it done. And we can make that into a full core. Beautiful. Malian noble rebels, deeply unsurprising. I don't like that national unrest right now. We're going to avoid the national unrest for the moment. So we need 52 admin power to make this into a full core. Bonneman Separatists, yeah, this needs to be... Actually, I'm going to leave it up for the time being. We're going to take these guys on over. Cool. Province of Kawar is now cored. Malian Particularists, yep, that's unsurprising again. Dagbun is now cored, though. Okay. So once these guys arrive here, I'm going to conform them. Any moment now. There we go. And there's a conversion finally finishing up. We'll get another one going, but our conversion power is pretty low right now. So that's definitely noted. Next month, we can full core in Burr, and so we shall. Okay, these guys will head back to Mali. How's our core going in Wadai? Almost done. These guys are going to move in for Kaffa, because we're going to attack over here fairly soon. Want to build another pair of manufactories. There we go. Looking good. More cores are finishing up. All is looking great there. So Wadai is not cored yet, and Jado is not cored yet either. Both of those require additional work. We certainly do want, at this point, to swap over to dip focus. There we go. Oh, okay. So we just switched over to our air. Our air is really, really good. Like, incredibly good. Missionary strength sounds amazing right now. Like, 665 is amazing. So that's fantastic. We want to change our cult here. I don't think institution spread is useful. Do we just take the discipline here to be able to better fight anyone like Spain or Ottomans? I think we do. We can do our own institution spread if we choose to. So I feel like that's fine. Yeah, we'll go ahead and core those. Beautiful. We do have more rebel uprisings being worked on. Our provincial unrest is not super high right now. Our overextension is about to be cut in half again. But yeah, that discontent that France put in is rough. So there's another core finishing. We'll go ahead and make that into states. Beautiful. And we have these guys spawning here, unsurprising. We're going to head up and deal with those real quick. Cool. Boosting our stability would be nice, but we just don't really have the ability to do that. Okay, there's another core finishing up there. So we're now down to 8% overextension. Beautiful. So overextension is a very small amount of this. Out of curiosity, Amhara. Amhara is technically better than Shona right now, but I don't think we're going to switch it. I would like to get these guys swapped over. Ottomans are preparing to declare war on us. Did that just say that? I'm pretty sure it did. Okay. Well, that is definitely noted. We're working our way through these problems, and we're stronger than we've ever been, but we're not really at the Ottoman level. So that's a potential concern. It is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that after we get a couple more manufactories built up here. We cannot just capitulate to the Ottomans every time they declare on us, otherwise we're never going to get there. Right? We can't really do that again. That was a one-time only deal. So we're going to need to find a way to have the Ottomans not really be a problem. But for right now, they are. I'll think about that in between episodes and hopefully have a bit of a plan when we come back. But if they're preparing to declare on us, we need to be prepared ourselves. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Kentogan, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Spartan News, Unisol, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.